In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 of some of the biggest hurdles that most entrepreneurs face when they're trying to get in the best shape of their life and improve their health and improve the quality of their health. Okay, so number 1 is, what do I actually have to eat every day? Okay, and number 2 is, what is the exact training routine I need to follow? And number 3 is, how do I actually start and get off the couch and actually start working out if I'm not currently working out? Or how do I, number 4, stay consistent and stick with it? Okay, so these are some of the biggest problems that most people have when it comes to getting in better shape, losing the belly fat, and just enjoying their physical body even more, and being less stressed and having better skin and more energy, more sex drive. These are all the issues, right? So let's talk about number 1 first. Okay, so if you're wanting to get ripped, right, you want to get leaner, you want to have more energy, you want to know exactly the 3 questions I always say. You need to know the answers to these 3 questions. Number 1, what do I eat? Number 2, when do I eat? And number 3, how much do I eat? Right? You need to know the answers to those 3 questions, because when you do that, now you can go anywhere in the world and you can eat all the food, because you know what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. Okay? So what do I actually have to eat every day is a question that a lot of people ask, because a lot of people, I understand it, because you go online and you type in anything and you come up, there's guys saying,
this is good, meat is bad, meat is good, vegan's good, vegan's bad, milk is good, milk is bad.
you don't know who to believe, because there's so much conflicting advice on that internet, right? So how do you know what is good? Well, for me, the answer for most things is personal experience, right? So I've tried vegan I was vegan for a month, and then what happened was, at the end of the month, I just started naturally craving chicken. So I was like, oh, that doesn't work for me. And I started eating chicken. I was pescatarian for about 2 or 3 months, I believe. Yeah, 3 months. I was in Korea as well, and it's really hard to be a pescatarian there, because, Koreans love meat. And so I was pescatarian, and then I just started craving meat again. And so I was like, all right, well, my body likes meat, so I'm just going to do that. And so as I started leaning more into that, I realized, oh, wow, I educated myself on meat and the nutritional value of red meat, for example, and all the myths that people believe about red meat, like all the vegan propaganda against red meat, and understanding why that is. It's like, of course, if you're a vegan, you're not going to be like, yeah, red meat's great. Like, of course, you're going to bash that. Same way people that eat meat bash veganism, right? But then underneath that is like understanding the deeper truth. Like, what is the actual truth? Listening to people like, for example, Bear Grylls talk about his experience in the tribes. One of my friends, Dominic, talking about his experiences living in the tribes, and just really understanding it at a deeper level. Like, oh, we actually evolved to eat meat. And, there's vegans maybe that will come back at me on that, but it's okay. But at the end of the day, all you need to know is what works for you in every area of your life, and you'll be fine. I actually hired a mentor. He lives in Japan, and he said to me when we were coaching together, he said, all you need to know is what the fuck works for you. That's it. He's like, write that fucking down. All you need to know in this life is work out what the fuck works for you. And that's it. And I was like, that's profound advice. He said, that's the most important advice I'm going to give you in our coaching together, is find out what the fuck works for you. And I was like, okay, I got it. I'm writing it down. And I remember it because it was so profound. And now I'm older, I can really see how that was really good advice. Okay, so that answers what do I actually eat every day. Is like, obviously I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell you why, eating meat is great for you, for example. And not just meat, but nutrient-dense food, okay? So that's the food that you should be eating, I believe, every day if you want to thrive. Because every day we need certain vitamins and minerals, right? Magnesium, calcium, potassium, zinc, selenium, all these riboflavin, B12, B6, all this stuff, right? We need this every day. And how do you get those nutrients in the most bioavailable form, meaning that you can absorb it straight away and like naturally, right? So how can you get these nutrients? I want to have the most amount of leverage in my food, meaning that I want to get the most amount of nutrients from the least amount of food. Does that make sense? So for example, when I eat a steak, I'm getting zinc, I'm getting selenium, I'm getting creatine, I'm getting trace amounts of magnesium, potassium, I'm getting B12, B6, I'm getting all these riboflavin, thiamine, amino acids. I'm getting all this from red meat, right? Selenium, I said that, I think. But I'm getting all of these nutrients from red meat. For example, right? Oysters, I'm getting the highest amount of food form of zinc in oysters. That's why when you take zinc, you're like super horny because you're getting lots of zinc. When you eat oysters, you're getting very horny, and it's an aphrodisiac because it's packed with vitamins and minerals, right, that you need. B12, it's like super high in B12, so you're gonna have super high levels of energy. This is why when my clients join me, they feel like they're invincible after the first couple of weeks. They feel like they're seeing for the first time because here's the thing about life, right? Everyone's used to feeling shitty, right? So that's just become your normal. Like you're used to feeling like shit every day. So it's just normal. That's just how you are, right? But then you experience another level and then you're like, holy shit, I'm at this another level. Like, I didn't even know this was possible. And that's how I am every day. And that's become my normal now. So that's why when I eat, like let's say if I eat a very carb heavy meal, it takes me back to the previous me. The previous me was like just lethargic, brain fog, and just, trying to sleep in the middle of the day and stuff like that. Like that was me. But now that doesn't happen. Even when I'm training jiu-jitsu, it doesn't happen, okay? So that's number one. It's like, what do I actually eat? Number two is what is the exact training routine that I need to follow? And this is a really, really simple answer. It's one that you're going to stick to. It's the same with food, right? It's like whatever you're going to stick to. But what I've experienced coaching clients who are middle-aged, like 35 plus, mostly 35, 40, 45 years old, is most of us at this age have bad hips, bad shoulders, right? We got knee pain. And so I've devised a workout plan for those people in mind, right? Because that's most of my clientele. And so that's why I moved away from helping the bros that just want to get a six-pack, because most of my clients actually don't want that. They just want to improve the quality of their health. They want to increase their longevity so they can be around more for their kids, so they can have more energy for their kids, actually play with their kids, and have the sexual energy for their wife and please her in the bedroom and not be a zombie when they come home from work, right? And so if you're nodding your head right now, like maybe, I don't know, maybe your situation is you're just so tired at the end of your day that you can't even satisfy your wife because you just have nothing left in the tank. You've got no energy. And you're sex drives in the toilet because of what you're eating. You're eating all this soy and you're eating all these xenoestrogens and, like you're eating stuff heated in plastic and your testosterone's going down and down and down because of what you're inputting in your body, right? You're inputting food in your body that is actually decreasing your testosterone without even you knowing. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm not only helping you increase your energy, but your testosterone increases by way of eating nutrient-dense food, because we need to rebalance your hormones and we need to give your body the cholesterol that it needs to go ahead and build the hormone testosterone. All right, so this is why health is such a complex thing, but once you understand certain things about health, it becomes effortless, right? But you got to get rid of what you already thought you knew about it, like cholesterol. Everyone's scared of high cholesterol, but actually when you have high testosterone, you have high cholesterol, and that's not a bad thing if you're eating nutrient-dense food, okay? So the problem is most people are eating lots of sugars, lots of carbs, and they have high cholesterol, which means their cholesterol is bad because they're eating lots of sugars, and that's actually going into it in detail, but basically the LDL is comprised of two parts. AB lipoproteins, right? And you got small dense particles and you got the large particles. So when you eat more nutrient dense food, your cholesterol is going to go up, but actually the large particles increase, which means it's harmless, right? But when you eat lots of like a low fat diet, you're eating lots of ready meals, you're eating lots of processed food, lots of sugars, lots of alcohol, you're going to have a higher LDL, but your LDL is going to be comprised of more small dense particles, which is actually more harmful to you and increases your risk of heart disease. Okay, so I have an interview with the author of The Great Cholesterol Myth, if you want to go ahead and check that out on my YouTube, and he breaks it down. Basically, the HDL, LDL test that everyone's using right now is outdated, okay? But no one's told this, and the real test that you need for your cholesterol is the NMR lipoprotein particle test, okay? And that's the solid test. You can tell accurately where your LDL is at, okay? So if you want to test for heart disease, your risk for heart disease, the NMR particle test is the best test. All right, so number 3, actually getting off your ass and getting started. So most people struggle with this because they don't understand where they're going, right? Like future pace. In 20 years, if you don't get started with your health right now, where are you going to be? You're probably going to be in a nursing home walking with a Zimmer frame because you ain't prioritized muscle and moving, right? Muscle is the organ of longevity. That's why people look so old for their age, because they're not lifting. Like anyone who doesn't lift looks really old because they're not lifting, right? Lifting has been shown to slow down the anti-aging, the aging process. Lifting weights, muscle is the organ of longevity. So right now you need to be building as much muscle as you can, okay? And that's going to help you in old age because you're going to stave off osteoporosis and all these other issues that happen as a result of not using your body. If you don't use it, you lose it. Everyone knows this, okay? So getting clear on who you want to become and the identity that you want to take on will help you take action in the present, okay? So maybe it's motivation from fear, like me. I don't want to be in a hospital, so I'm motivated to move away from that. I want to be, the outcome that I want is to be the 90-year-old that's fit, strong, and mobile, okay? That's what I want. So that's what motivates me to keep up with my health, because I've seen all these people worldwide, and I've seen how it affects other people. Like, you don't want to be a burden to your grandkids, right? Because you're 65 years old and you can't move. Like, who wants that? Like, that's not a nice life to live. Like, that sucks. So, yeah, I want to be the fit granddad, basically, right? And I know that if I just can stay consistent, that's going to happen because it's who I am. It's who I want to become. See, I'm stepping into that identity now. So that's going to help you take action. So get clear on the identity that you want for yourself. And number 4, sticking to it, again, largely to do with the identity. Because if you're not consistent, that means that you're not adopting the identity of someone who is consistent. So, for example, Usain Bolt doesn't think, maybe I shouldn't go training today. No, because that's who he is, right? Like, he's an athlete. He sees himself as an athlete. He's a high-performing athlete. So what do high-performing athletes do? They train twice a day, right? 5 days a week. That's just what they do. So that's what he does, right? Or Conor McGregor, same thing, right? Like you see yourself as a high-level athlete, so you train like high-level athletes would do. So who is the type of person you want to become, and what does that person do, and do that. And better still, get around the people who are like you want to become. Because the best hack for changing your behavior is to get around people where your desired behavior is their normal behavior. And this is not coming from me. This is coming from James Clear in Atomic Habits. That is one of the biggest keys to success in everything in life. It's like, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut, right? That's a classic saying. It's the same thing in life. It's like if you hang out with the people that you want to be like, sooner or later you're going to become like them because you're going to pick up their nuances. Proximity is power, right? This is like the biggest hack. If there was one secret to living an amazing life, it's that. It's getting around people who are living out your dream. And for them, it's normal. It's like Tuesday. But for you, it's like fucking huge, right? But for them, it's just Tuesday, right? Like, I just took off my shirt at the beach. I'm 8% body fat. No, it's just today's what? Sunday afternoon. I'm at the beach. My shirt's off. I'm topless. I'm 8% body fat. Yeah, it's normal for me. You want to be around people like that, if that's what you want. If you want to get lean, be around lean people. If you want to get muscle, be around super muscly people, right? If you want to get rich, hang out with rich people. If you want to have a healthy relationship, hang out with people that have healthy relationships. It's so simple. Like, that's literally success. And it's crazy that I'm saying that because I've realized my own life, living here in Bali, I've been around people that actually don't value money that much. Like, some people were like, oh yeah, I only need enough money to live. Like, that's not how my mind is. I'm not wired to think like that because I believe that's selfish, right? Just thinking about yourself. Oh, I only need this much to live on. But like, what about your family? What about people that love you, right? So for me, that's not what, I'm not trying to surround myself with people that don't have a bigger vision for their wealth, right? So recently I've been surrounding myself with rich people, and it's actually affecting my mind. Like, I used to think like, oh yeah, like, obviously I know money's important, but just making myself think bigger because I fell into that selfish mindset of like, I just need enough money to live in Bali, and that is actually something that made me comfortable as well, because I'm like, I got what I wanted. Like, I'm living my dream. I wondered why I was losing my edge, losing my consistency in the money area. And I was like, like I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I was like, why have I lost the hunger? Like, why do I feel so comfortable? Even though I'm not financially where I want to be, why do I feel so comfortable? And he said to me, it's because you got what you wanted. And I was like, I did get what I wanted. I'm shooting this video in the studio. I'm living next to the rice field. Like, I can go upstairs and suntan naked, and yeah, like I got a bike, and I'm living in Bali. Like, yeah, I guess I'm living my dream. If I go back to 12 years ago, when I was starting out, like this life was a dream. It was literally a dream. I remember the guy in the event. I actually get quite emotional to talk about this. I remember the guy in the event. He was like, "Tell me the moment when you imagine that you're living your dream." And then I was imagining myself closing my eyes, standing in the sand at the ocean, at the beach, and then the water's touching my feet, right? And then fast forward 1 year from that event, I had made a bunch of money and I was in Thailand, and I had that moment. I was standing by the beach and the water touched my feet, and I was like, fuck, I'm living my dream. And it was that moment after that I spent $100,000 that year, and I don't know where the hell it went. I just blew it, right? And there's a lot of other reasons for that. It's like not feeling worthy and all that stuff. But a large reason was because I got what I wanted, right? And so I lost my hunger and I just started relaxing. And so I started spending more money. And so understanding why I've done certain things in my life helps me understand myself right now. So right now, I'm also being honest with myself. I've been in a similar position, right? Like I've just been coasting and comfortable and not really wanting to push. And I didn't really understand why. So one of my friends, he said, you got to search for awareness, right? You got to search for what you don't see, because it's not about the tactics. It's like there's something that you're not seeing, which is why you're staying stuck. And so I'm digressing a little bit, but if you're not consistent, there's something that you're not aware of, which is why you're not consistent, right? And so you have to be, that's why coaching is so powerful. Like I can see what you can't see, which is why people that enroll with me get amazing results, because they're not aware of what's holding them back. Otherwise, they would have already got the result, right? Think about it. Like if you already knew what was holding you back, you'd be sitting here with 8% body fat, if that's what you want. Or you'd be having the consistent healthy habits. You'd be going to the gym 3 times a week. You'd be eating the right foods. Even when you go on holiday, you'd be staying in great shape, and you'd be working out still, and you wouldn't come home from 2 weeks vacation and be like 20 pounds overweight or 10 pounds overweight. Your weight wouldn't be fluctuating all the time if you knew what was holding you back, and if you knew why you wanted what you wanted and why you wanted it, and what you're willing to give up. Like if you knew all these things, like this wouldn't be a struggle for you. The fact is that you're not aware of something that's getting in the way. Same like me. I was not aware. I cannot say I'm not, because I am now, but I wasn't aware of what was getting in the way. And for me, it was, I got what I wanted, so now I have to go and figure out what the hell I want, and why do I want it, and what am I willing to give up in order to get that. And if I don't really want it, then don't kid myself to think that I really want it when I'm not willing to put in the work. All right, so that is something that I wish that someone told me years ago, but it's great that I'm learning it now, because it's all about what don't I see. I remember my friend Mike Versteel, he had a screensaver on his phone and it said, what don't I see? And I had never really understood what that meant, and I didn't really ask him about that, but that's what it means, like what don't I see? Because whatever you don't see is in your unconscious mind. And if you don't, like Carl Jung said, right? He said, if you don't bring the unconscious to the conscious mind, then it's going to rule your life and you're going to call it fate. So a lot of us are walking around not even aware of what's holding us back. So that's why coaching is so powerful, because in a conversation with me, I can see what you can't. Like I can reveal why it's so hard for you to get a six-pack, for example. Why it's so hard for you to stay consistent. Maybe there's an event in your life that happened, and the meaning you attached to it was, it's only for these people. I'm not that person. So therefore, you're constantly trying, but it's something so hard. And it's something in your past that you're not even aware of, and the meaning you attach to that event, which is now playing out in the present moment. And just when in a conversation with me, I can pick that up. Like that's why people pay me the big bucks, right? Because that is going to change your whole life. Now you're aware of the patterns that you've been running your whole life that you've not even been aware of until now, right? This is why some people, they've struggled with their whole life with weight. That's an emotional reason. There's an emotional reason why that person struggled their entire life with their weight. And so if they're not getting awareness on that, they're going to think the problem is in what they're eating, the tactics, the diet, like the stuff I talked about today, like the 4 biggest hurdles, right? But the underlying core of that is there's an emotional reason why they're staying stuck. And if they're not aware of that, then they're going to keep staying stuck and think it's something external. And this is something that I've experienced and honed in during my coaching. Like, I wasn't aware of this myself until I started coaching people and learning about human psychology and the core emotions that drive people, and the events that happen in our life and the meaning we attach to them, and how we live out our life according to how we see ourselves based on the events that have happened and the meaning that we attach to them, all this kind of stuff, right? And so, yes, if you feel like this is something that resonates with you, then I invite you to book a call with us. Myself or one of my team will go ahead and talk to you. Go ahead and click the link below this video, or go to callwithaaron.net if you're listening to this, and you can go ahead and book a call with us, and then we're going to see where you are, where you want to be, what's getting in the way, and what's the cost of not taking action. Like, what's going to happen if you don't do this? If you don't fix this area of your life right now, your health and fitness, what's going to happen in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line? And can you live with that? Because, look, I'm at 8% body fat. Like, this is another thing, right? So people are like, oh, sorry, Aaron, I can't do it. I can't afford it, whatever, right? And it's like, okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm still going to eat steak tonight, right? I'm still 8% body fat, but that means a lot for your life. And so can you live with that regret of knowing that you could have had this amazing life, and you could have lived a better life, and you could have lived longer on this planet? At the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? But you chose not to for a few $1,000s. Like, really? So it's up to you, because from where I'm sitting, like, I'm here, I'm ready to help you. And yeah, this is what I do. So if you want help, go ahead and click the link below this video. If you're serious about, really transforming your health and getting rid of these limiting beliefs that are having a stronghold on you. It's like you're a Ferrari and you got the handbrake on and your foot's on the gas and you're not going anywhere. You're just like this. You're just bucking forwards, back and forwards. But you don't know how to release the handbrake, because you don't know how to do it, right? Like, you're not aware that, the handbrake needs to be released. It's just like the story that's holding you back in your mind from getting where you want to be. You're not aware of it, so therefore it's hard to actually pinpoint it. So that's why, again, coaching is powerful, because that's one of the biggest things that's going to help you shift, all right? And that is what I'm offering. Go ahead and click the link below, and we'll talk on the phone, and then take it from there. All right, I'll see you in the next video. If you're listening, go to callwithaaron.net or DM me at @TheRealDarko on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Talk to you soon. Ciao.